Hey, if you're curious about the new GMC carbon fiber bed and how it's being assembled and built, I have those details for you and a little bit about pricing. And we're getting started right now. Hello, it's Tim Esterdahl, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and my passion is trucks and SUVs. If that's your passion too, hit subscribe below, hit bell notification to be notified of new videos put out, just like this one. So, a few weeks ago, I was in Indiana doing a tour of the Fort Wayne Assembly Plant, which I'll put above. And before that tour, we were at Continental Structural Plastic, doing a tour of how they're going to do the new GMC carbon fiber bed. Unfortunately, video was no-go. Not happening video at all. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I saw there, put some images on the screen, and kind of give you some backstory on how they're going to build this new bed. So as you know, this new carbon fiber bed is something they talked about last March, and something that's actually been in development now for over a decade. This is how long GMC has been working on it. They kind of have different ideas on how to make the bed stronger and lighter all way back when, which is pretty impressive, and they've kept the project going. And so this new carbon fiber bed is basically similar to what they're doing with the C7 Corvette. They've been doing carbon fiber for years, and they're going to take this carbon fiber and they made it a little bit more blends, a little bit different structure to it, and which makes it more trucky than would be the Corvette. It doesn't splinter and destroy when it gets in an accident. It actually is more durable and withstands more beating. And if you crash into it, it doesn't just shatter, it actually absorbs some of the stuff and actually crinkles more like steel will. So let's begin with the process. So the process begins with this Tejon company. They've been working with General Motors for quite a while now. General Motors actually invested quite a bit of money in this company as well as a supplier. The supplier is near Fort Wayne Assembly. That way they can get stuff back and forth. So Tejon builds these carbon fiber sheets. They're really thin sheets. They build them over in Japan and they ship them to the United States. This carbon fiber sheets, I mean, it's like a... It's I don't know what you can describe it. I would say it's like a big piece of plexiglass, right? You can pull it back and forth in your hands. It's pretty lightweight to pick up and carry, but it's not really solid. It doesn't feel solid. But they have, like I said, I've showed you some videos here, and they've dropped snowmobiles on it. They've dropped bricks on it. They've dropped all sorts of rock on it, and the thing doesn't crack. It holds up really well. So it's a really sturdy material. They take this and they have little thin sheets. They put these sheets. The robot picks it up, takes it over, heats it. A 3,600 ton press. This thing is impressive. It's like 25 feet in the ground and goes, I don't know, 40 feet in the air. And in about a minute, it takes and it shapes the bottom of the bed on this 3,600 ton press. A really cool side story is they actually had this press built in Germany and shipped to the United States. They brought it along the canal there into the Great Lakes. And they had to wait for the tide to set for about a month, and they had to put it in the warehouse, while they waited for the tide to set before they could put it on truck and come down. And talking to Tim Herrick, of the chief engineer for GMC and Chevy trucks, a pretty nervous conversation about paying the bill to house this in a warehouse because they spent all this money building this thing. Anyways, they ship it down. This thing makes not a lot of noise, but what it does is it goes down this press and it presses in and it makes the ridges in the bed and also applies a coating, a non-slick coating. So that way, if you stay on the bed, you're not going to slide around. And so it puts that in there, it presses it, and it spits it out. Water jets do cutting of the rough edges around it to make it a good shape as far as the final shape. And then they cut in the holes for like wiring and lights, things like that. That's the bottom of the bed. That is your bed floor. The sides are stamped in a different press. It's like a 1,000-pound press next to it. And they get stamped out. So you have four pieces. You have the bed, you have the two sides, and then you have the front of the bed. They get stamped out. Then these pieces go over and they get actually glued. So they get heated up a little bit, and there's a adhesive applied. And it's interesting. You wouldn't think glue. You'd think that they could bolt it. You actually can weld on this carbon fiber. You actually can weld together these pieces together. It's a special type of welding. And GMC said they tried it all. They tried bolts, they tried welding, they tried everything to think of, and the adhesive that they came up with, this compound, does the best job of adhering the bed. And I'll share with you a little bit in a minute why that is really impressive now that I got to see it in person. But anyways, this glue goes on, the sides go on, they hold it tight. I don't know, they get the glue applied. It's like doing a model car, right? You put the glue on, you hold it, and then the glue sets, and then they're done. They put it onto a carrier, and that carrier will take and ship it to Fort Wayne, and the bed slides right in. They put the steel body panels on. So the steel body panels are the same as you would find in any sort of 2019 GMC or 2019 Chevy. It's the same body panels. They just take that bed, basically it's a bed liner, they throw it in there, and they take the existing bed out, and they swap it out. So that's all it is. It's those pieces that go in. A few important notes on this is that it's 62 pounds lighter than a standard GMC pickup bed. That's what they're saying. But they're not telling you how heavy a GMC pickup bed is. So we just know it's 62 pounds lighter. They wouldn't disclose that number to us. So somebody at a junkyard is going to have to pick one of these beds up and weigh it and whatever. 62 pounds less, so whatever that means. I don't think that's going to mean diddly squat for fuel economy. It may. I mean, 62 pounds is quite a bit of weight. I mean, you may get a quarter mile per gallon improvements, but it's not that big of a difference. The other thing is that there's a really cool story on this. On the underside of the bed, if you haven't seen the story, there's a guy named Tim Connors. And Connors was the driving force between getting this bed to production. He spent a lot of energy getting this bed, through the process and really working executive council. And anytime they hit a roadblock, Tim Herrick told me, Tim Connors would just step up and he would take care of that roadblock. And so he died, unfortunately, during the production of this bed and didn't get to see it come to fruition. And in a motorcycle accident, I actually know the spot he was driving. And anyways, so they were able to put Connors' way on the bottom of these beds, and that's basically a tribute to him. So it's a really cool story in that one. So it's going to be, like I said, it's 62 pounds lighter. It's the same material like a C7 Corvette. It's the carbon fiber like a Lamborghini, but it's going to be, the fact is, it's going to be a stronger carbon fiber. It withstands more damage, and like I said, let's talk about beating it apart. Before we left, they gave us a demonstration. A guy took a hammer and he took a nail bar and he took some pry bars and he tried to separate the front of the bed. They had it upside down, so the bed bottom and the front of it, they're trying to get that piece to separate because it kind of folds over. And that dude was breaking a sweat, and he was pounding really hard. And it took him, well, I mean, we watched it for like 10, 15 minutes. And then we left, and he was still probably pounding an hour later trying to get that separated. That's how impressive that stuff goes together. I just really don't think you're going to have a situation where that's going to come apart eventually, because the way they held that together, and like I said, we're going to think 10 years, and they have done durability tests like crazy. They froze it, they heated it up. They took a space heater and they put it right in the front of the bed, and they let it run for like a day and a half. They heated it to how many thousands of degrees, and like I said, they froze it. They've done a lot of testing on this. So I don't have any concerns there as far as what the durability is going to be. I think it's going to be a very durable product. There's going to be two things that are going to be a concern on this. Is number one, price. And so we talked a lot about pricing. They wouldn't release details. There's no details out yet, but I can tell you two things. First of all, it's going to be part of a package. So it's going to be in Denali and AT4 and the GMC Sierra side. There's no word yet on Chevy Silverado, but it's coming. Clearly, obviously. So it's going to be in the GMC Denali and AT4 trims. What they're going to do is they're going to put it as part of a package. And so you'll buy the bed with some other things put all together. And my theory here is they're trying to control cost. And so what they'll do is they'll put a bunch of these features together. Like, say, you got to buy the bed, plus you get the side rails, plus you get chrome wheels, plus you get upgraded leather trim or something like that. They'll put all this stuff together. They'll discount the other accessories, and they'll offset their loss on the bed by adding these accessories. That's what we're going to try to do. And they'll take some margin out of those accessories and offset the price of the bed. So that way, it's not going to be such a big shock when it comes out. And so you'll see that in AT4 and Denali. I think that's what they're going to do, because I think it's going to be really expensive, because it's a low production accessory right now. It's a low production model or unit of this bed, and so it's going to be really high cost in the interim. Now, that's the other part I want to get to, is that, wink, wink, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. It was made very clear to us and to me and the other journalists there that this is the beginning. This is where they're starting from. This is the first application of carbon fiber in a GMC truck, and it's the most visible spot for a consumer to feel. They can feel this. They can see it. It's the first time the consumers can really see it. And depending on consumer response, which I think is going to be pretty high in this, you're going to see, I could see fenders, I could see hoods, I could see everything being rebuilt in this carbon fiber material they built. And so you're going to see GM as a company use more carbon fiber now they figured out this system, they bought this press, they've invested these millions of dollars in this program. So be prepared. You're going to see a lot more carbon fiber. You're going to be a lot of haters on this. Down below in the comments, I know it's coming. There's going to be a lot of haters about this. They're not going to like it. It's something new, something brand new. But I'm telling you, I was pretty impressed, and I don't get impressed very often. And it's pretty impressive to see how much time and effort they put into this project and how durable it is. Now, again, like I said, cost can be a big concern. They can hide that cost in some packages. We won't know true costs on this until we get it on the parts catalog at a dealer. Until you can order it, then you'll know. The cool part, though, I was talking to them about, it is backwards compatible. So if you have a 19 Sierra right now, or you have a 19 Chevy Silverado, and say you want the carbon fiber bed, because you don't want a bed liner. You don't need a bed liner with this carbon fiber bed, by the way. No, not needed. Because you're not going to spray into this. It doesn't beat up. It doesn't scratch. It doesn't lose its color. I mean, it's sunproof. It's got some sun coating in there, so it's going to last forever. Tim Herrick has a joke that at the end of times, the world's over, nuclear blast, there'll be cockroaches and there'll be the carbon fiber bed. That's the joke. And I don't know. It looks pretty damn like it's going to take place. I mean, that's pretty solid statement. So you can backwards compatible this is what I'm trying to say. There's the slots where it bolts into the existing steel, and you just replace it. So, and I also said in an accident, what happens in an accident? In an accident, if the bed gets destroyed, you put a whole new bed on it. So you're not going to repair it. It's not repairable. It's not, you're not going to replace one part, cut part off, put a new part in. Not going to happen. You're just going to buy a whole new bed and go from there. But honestly, that's the way body shops are getting these days. They're not really buying new, they're not really repairing anything these days. They're just buying new parts, making them fit. I mean, that's kind of where we're at these days in automotive. So that's kind of my notes. I think I have all the notes I was going to talk about this. It is also recyclable. Maybe you care about this, maybe you don't, but it's recyclable. So the cuttings they do on the water jet, all the excess, they actually recycle. And I asked them about, when it's done, and say like a bed shows up at the junkyard. I'm looking at junkyard. There's a junkyard that way, I should say. If it goes to the junkyard, you can actually recycle this. So what we could see is that the beds that get done in this way, that we were not going to fill up junkyards full of old beds. It's just going to go back to the factory, get recycled, and put back out. Now, it did get my mind thinking that if this works for GMC and they can get this go and they can get the material going, maybe we can hit more things going. And can you imagine classic truck world? You imagine other trucks doing this stuff? We could have fully recyclable trucks. And then you could buy new body panels for classic trucks someday and just order them in. They'd be lighter weight carbon fiber, and you could just bolt them on. I thought it was pretty cool. So I think it's got quite a few applications. Again, I'm sorry, no video. I wasn't allowed to. They said no. That's just how it works on some of these plants, because they have some proprietary only information that you don't want anybody else to see. So that's the deal. So if you're curious, like I said, if you're curious about this, I hope I answered your questions. Summer of 2020 or summer of 2019, we should see more information. We should see pricing. We should see availability, and it should be on vehicles come this fall. So it's coming. That's the news I have. So hey, if you found this video informative, hit like button below. Go ahead and smash it. Also, hit subscribe. Hit bell notification to be notified when new videos put out. Find us on pickuptrucktalk.com. 3 words, pickup truck talk. It's pretty simple. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Trust me, we're there where you can find it. Again, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.